Welcome back to the channel. This is our WrestleMania review. The last time is now, and the champ is here! Hey, it's Scott Barrett, and you're back with the burning truth. And I'm here once again with a man who's been known to have a Hall of Fame match himself every now and again, once or twice. It's Matt Burns, everybody.
I feel honoured. I feel truly honoured.
An immortal moment.
That's fair enough.
Is that an immortal moment or two?
That's fine. That's fine.
Immortal moment.
Well, in my case, mortal.
How are you, Matt? You okay?
I'm all good. I'm all good. You know, pretty much, still recovering from the lack of sleep from the weekend.
Yeah.
Sleep deprivation does affect you quite badly.
How did you choose to watch your WrestleMania, Matt Burns? Did you stay up late? Did you get up early? What was the...
It was a combination of had to sort of on that first night. It was literally I was out. Had to cut out. It was literally I was out and about, and I had to pretty much risk it for a biscuit as I just got in from it, straight into it, and had to pretty much plow through on night one.
Nice. And then for
night two, it was like, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. I can get there. I can power through.
Oh, you didn't make it through night two?
No. Went for a kip, got straight up just as it's just about to start, and powered through.
Oh, nice one. I had some people around here actually on Saturday night for night one. So we stayed up, and because there's a group of you make it, don't you? So get the adrenaline. So we made night one, and then night two, I had to have a different approach. I've actually had work today being Monday. I've actually had work first thing this morning. So my plan of attack was I went to bed really early, and I mean really early, and then I got up at 4:30 and watched it before I went to work this morning.
Oh, I was just about to say, hang on, working on it on the bank holiday.
Working on a bank holiday, mate. Yeah, no rest for
dedication.
The week.
Dedication right there.
The Burning Truth live, absolutely, on the night. So, Voltage Wrestling's in the chat already, Matt Burns. What's up, guys? Nice to see you, Voltage. He watched Mania live too, both nights. Well, I didn't make it live for night two, but Matt Burns did, and that's the main thing. We're here tonight to...
Hang on. You're missing one bit. And I think it's probably because we're not doing it on a Sunday. Because we're doing it on a Monday, which is a bit unusual for us lately. Okay. You ready? Scott, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, mate. Nearly missed that then. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. I think I'm not tired. I've done the right things over the weekend. I've got me sleeping where I needed to, and I'm feeling really good about it. I'm also on a bit of a high. So there's been a lot of negativity about what we're going to talk about tonight, the WrestleMania review, online. And I actually think, I mean, maybe this is just the most positive wrestling channel ever, but I actually think it was a pretty decent show, both nights. I
can see where...
bits that I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I think those bits sort of, even out for the bits that I didn't enjoy too much. But I think the plan for this episode, Matt Burns, if you're on board with it, is what I want to do is I want to take us through night one, match by match, and talk about it, and then go through night two, match by match, and talk about that too. And then we can give favorite moments from the night, things that we've enjoyed, things that we didn't enjoy, and then a bit of a recap at the end, if that's all right with you.
Perfect.
Like I always say I'm the first lister on here. This is the Matt Burns show, but
no. It's a joint effort.
366 episodes, Matt Burns. You haven't missed one. However, I think it's time then to get into WrestleMania Night One.
Let's get on with it. So,
okay, how did it start, Matt Burns?
We started off straight into the singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is Jey Uso versus Gunther.
Yeah, and this one was highly anticipated after the Rumble, and then the story got I wouldn't say the story got weaker, but it kind of came off the boil. This didn't it?
It sort of, it felt like to me, like they took the step off just a little bit off the gas. And I think they were just thinking, oh, well, we'll just take the step off this for now and put it somewhere else, and then we'll apply it a bit again later. But what they didn't realize is they need to keep that gas pressed on.
Yeah.
Now, luckily enough, even though technically they sort of took the acceleration, the gas, or however you want to say it. For me, I felt as though they ended up overcompensating, and luckily they got it right to build it back up, especially with the Jey Uso versus Gunther match and the aftermath.
Okay.
That to me, I felt like, oh, some people said, oh, it went too far. That was way too far. The whole Gunther absolutely beating the heart out of Jimmy while Jay's handcuffed.
Yeah.
I think that allowed Jey to flex his emotions more and be less of a just yeet and be more, yeah, I do the yeet thing. I am, I do that, and it is funny, but I can be serious.
Voltage Wrestling's still live with us along here, Matt Burns on YouTube, and he says it was a great match, except the finish. It seemed like one of them was injured.
There's no reports of either of them being injured, although I know a lot of people were surprised with the actual finish.
See, I wasn't. I mean, maybe I'm just more in tune than anybody else, but I thought there was a couple of bits for me that it sort of harked back to. So the first one was that Gunther's beat Jey by submission a couple of times now, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. Also, the fact that this was really personal for Jey, based on what you've just been talking about, the attack with Jimmy. But also, if you hark all the way back to Gunther losing the NXT UK title back in the day, I remember the call for that was something along the lines of, because he lost by submission, was the choke is Gunther's weakness. So it played all the way back into that story, forever ago.
Yeah.
I think it was surprising in the manner of how quick Gunther tapped out once he was in the move.
Yeah.
That's what I think was the most surprising thing. Once he was in the choke, it was like they did not let that breathe at all. It was quick tap and I am done.
Yeah. Me personally, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Now, some people were just there saying, oh, hang on. He tapped him out. He tapped him out. What? And everything. Fair enough. I get that. And Jay's not a submission specialist. But like you said, it was personal. The fact that he was using Gunther's own material against him, which was, I will say, fair play to get him off that powerbomb.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last symphony.
3 splashes as well.
Oh,
the top rope. There was more within the match, but just those 3 consecutive ones. I thought it was really good. I mean, I don't know about you, Matt Baines, but I'd give this certainly 3 bangers. I didn't think it was a bad match at all.
I'd definitely say 3, minimum 3 bangers, because I think the storytelling was perfect. I know a lot of people sitting there saying Gunther tapped out too quickly. The difference is, I think what it did show as well is Jey sort of earns Gunther's respect in the match as well, to a degree. Because if you think about it, Jey sort of pummeled Gunther with his own material. Can you name the last time somebody tapped the other out with their own submission finisher? And there's only one I can think of.
No, I'm not sure.
It was on.
Go on.
It was on Kurt Angle.
An ankle lock from what, Benoit or Guerrero or somebody like that.
Baron Corbin.
Oh, fair dues. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Yeah. Baron Corbin. Okay. So I think that's how we feel about Jey and Gunther.
Oh.
What was the next match on the card, Matt Burns?
The next match. Now, I know some people are going to have a gripe at this match because there wasn't much build-up. Some individuals thought that the SmackDown Tag Team Championship should have been here instead of the Raw one, the World Tag Team Championship. The reason why, because
I think the New Day deserved it. I think the New Day deserved to be on WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on this, and I feel as though what their argument is there was more storyline developed on the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. So why have they got them on? Just being defended on the SmackDown and the following show, like TLC on Saturday, Friday.
Yeah,
coming this Friday instead of it being on WrestleMania, because TLC would have been a really, really good match for WrestleMania. Now, you can't take away from New Day, especially with the whole heel, the heel turn. And I felt as though if they were off, it would have hurt them more.
Okay.
And
I mean, I think we did our predictions, didn't we, prior to this? And I think I predicted the War Raiders to retain.
You did,
and I predicted it because the Raw tag division isn't the strongest at the moment, right? We have basically two teams, but I still didn't see the New Day doing it at this point. I thought it would be further down the line. I almost didn't expect the pomp and circumstance for them because that would have added to their
animosity.
It would have just added to their sort of everyone's against us. Yeah, the whole
added fuel to the fire.
Yeah, fire. But I still think it was a quality match. I think on the show they delivered. The War Raiders and the New Day. I think it was. Did it set the world on fire? Was it a life-changing match? It certainly wasn't TLC 2, but I mean, it was a very credible tag match.
Oh, definitely. And I believe at one point, I believe it was Eric who kneed Xavier Woods, and I legit thought Xavier Woods was out.
Yeah.
You know exactly which one. You know exactly which knee.
Yeah.
I was like, was that legit?
Yeah, because it was a really big shot.
It looped it, and honestly, I thought the weird thing about it is, I feel like as though people were sitting there and making these comments. I feel like New Day saw these comments and just went, "You know what? We're going to prove you wrong."
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, on reflection, the New Day winning was totally the right decision. I'm hoping that we get a bit of switcheroo during some sort of upcoming draft. I'm kind of hoping for, so we get some balance in the teams and we help Raw's tag division. I'm almost hoping that Fraxium come up to Raw from NXT. They lost their tag titles at Stand and Deliver over the weekend, and they can come in and challenge New Day as well. But overall, I think this was a pretty steady tag match. The right people won, and I'm interested to see where the New Day story goes next because, right now it doesn't have any direction. I don't feel like I don't know where it's going to go next. So I'm looking forward to what they do and seeing how that unfolds.
Yeah, 100%, and their gear.
Oh yeah, with the three-headed unicorn, one of them wilting away. In case you missed that. Representing Biggie and the Giant Gonzalez inspired front of the gear as well, which I really enjoyed because, Giant Gonzalez getting a mention's always good.
Yeah, and what I also thought was interesting is, yes, the War Raiders were doing like a bit of advertisements with their gear, but at least they were actually having fun, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, what was the next match, Matt Burns?
The next match is the one is a match that for night one was thrashed the most.
Okay.
By the social media, or at least I feel it's been trashed the most. It was Jade Cargill. Oh no, Jade Cargill and Naomi.
Okay. Why do we think that's happened then? What went wrong here?
I feel as though a lot of people were sitting there saying Jade Cargill isn't ready. She wasn't ready. She shouldn't be at WrestleMania. There was a few moments where she was sort of, you can see that she was checking on Naomi and everything. And, fair enough, okay. She might not be at the quality, but some of the stuff she was pulling out on WrestleMania was absolutely amazing. The only thing I will say is the end of the match, I think the powerbomb should have just been the finish. Because it looked like it ended Naomi.
Yeah. I do like a finish, though. I do like Jade Cargill's finish. I like the whole thing with the pin and licking the hand. And I thought, do you know what? I thought this was fairly reasonable. I'm interested to see what everybody else thought. If you're watching along live, get your thoughts in the live chat or down in the comments below.
I feel personally, for me, I don't think it was as bad as what people made out it to be. Yes, you might have caught a glimpse where she's probably, checking on an opponent, but bear in mind, Jade Cargill is not your exact average person. So if she's launching you, she's gonna. The difference is, at least she's showing that she actually cares, for her opponent, even though, to a degree, she's not going out there to just, pretty much more than saying, I'm the best, move on.
No, we'll talk about Charlotte and Tiffany later. I thought this was pretty steady. I think the build-up was good. I enjoyed the match for what it was. I wasn't expecting Kurt Angle Benoit or bloody Michaels Bret Hart. I was expecting to see Jade Cargill versus Naomi, and I think I got a really accurate reflection of what Jade Cargill versus Naomi would be. I think they totally stayed true to themselves, the characters, and their. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, it was 2 out of 5 sausages for me. It's never going to blow us away, but it was a good match. It was a story well told. And I think you need that sort of popcorn match in this kind of event to let you breathe.
Even though, yes, you can sit down and say, let you breathe. But the difference is what Jade Cargill did was still impressive. Some of the stuff that she was pulling off in it, I don't care what anybody else says, right? I don't see many male wrestlers doing some of the stuff that Jade Cargill is doing. Legitimately.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, actually, better yet, if you want to have a competition of fitness against Jade Cargill, why just ask Sheamus what happened with him?
Yeah, absolutely. We all saw that, didn't we?
Oh, he suffered.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the bit where Naomi took Jade Cargill and hit the X Factor with the legs resting on the apron as well on the outside.
Yes.
That was a really nice moment in the match. And I also really enjoyed Jade's entrance, which has been heavily talked about with the Weather Channel because the storm was coming. I enjoyed it. I thought that was good.
That was peak. I loved it. I know some people said saying that just looked like a cheap plug. I was like, no, that's clever.
Yeah, I agree. I think the counters were good. I don't think Naomi ever really had a shot to win this. Yeah,
the thing is, I expected Jade Cargill to win this, but Naomi, don't take any credit away from her. I think the whole new look is really good for her. And I think how she handled her interviews building up to it was absolutely fantastic. Have you seen she did like a shoot on the crowd? Have you seen that clip?
Yeah.
Where she literally, they started going now and goes, whoa, where the hell have you lot been? And she called them out.
Yeah,
and I was like, anybody who wants to be a heel, take notes.
Yeah.
That's how to be a proper heel, not a cool heel, or I want to be cheered by the fans, but I really do bad guy things. A genuine heel.
Yeah. Agreed. Totally agreed. Which is also how you could describe Charlotte Flair, but we keep talking about it.
We'll get there.
Move on then. Is it the United States title next, Matt Beans?
You got it.
Okay, so the next match then was LA Knight defending the United States title against Jacob Fatu.
I love you so low.
And we were looking forward to this. I thought it was going back to the predictions. I thought it was too soon for Jacob Fatu to beat LA Knight. I thought there was going to be some shenanigans with Solo. He was probably going to screw him. And then when the entrance and Solo came out with him, I thought, yeah, I'm spot on here. This is exactly what's going to happen.
And then he went to the back.
Apparently not. So what did you think, Matt Baines?
I will say, at one point, I thought your prediction came true. Genuinely thought it came true. And you knew exactly which moment I'm on about.
Yep.
The ultimate counter to the mighty moonsault. Wow.
It was good. The BFT counter
did not. I can imagine. I kept sitting there thinking, oh, you can hit an RKO from that and everything. But did I think a BFT? No.
It's a cracking move. And that reverse, that in midair with, catching Jacob Fatu, and it was fabulous. Utterly fabulous. Did the right person win here, Matt Baines, in your opinion?
The hype video, phenomenal, brilliant. Me personally, yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Ali Knight was the right person to put him over as well. I think it just puts him into that sort of Jacob Fatu now goes from mid-card to sort of upper mid-card echelon where we always knew he was going to be. Like we can see this guy's on the rise. He's going to be a main eventer by next WrestleMania. Not my words, he might win the Rumble. Between him and Bron Breakker, one of them's going to win the Rumble next year.
Yeah, pretty much. And his entrance alone screams out main eventer.
Yeah,
entrance alone.
He's got aura, right?
Yeah,
the guy's got aura. He is him. So yeah. And then after, I thought what was really nice. I don't know if you spotted this, but after the match, he was congratulated by Haku or Meng, whatever you want to call him, which I thought was really, really cool.
I saw that. I could see it, and it was really, really touching. And I feel as though this is actually, as much as Alan Knight's taken a loss.
Yeah.
I feel this is giving something, a bit more freedom.
Agreed.
It's giving him a bit more freedom.
Yeah. I think as we come up to a draft as well, I think the world title picture is shouting out for somebody like LA Knight.
Yeah.
And I know Jay is a big baby face who's just won that championship. Spoilers. I know we've already done that one.
Yeah, that's already done. No spoilers.
But yeah, I think that world championship picture is crying out for an LA Knight.
Yeah, and the best thing about it is Jacob Fatu, WWE have actually just have also got the. We know he's the Samoan werewolf, correct?
Yeah, correct.
They've also got the rights to the tribal werewolf.
I like that as well. That's pretty cool
as well.
I mean, you don't know if they're going to use that as a nickname or whether it'll just appear on a shirt, but it's cool no matter what, right?
Either way, cool. That is cool. Now, for me, I feel as though this is the right position for Jacob Fatu to win that championship because Jacob, whenever he's been on, even on the independent scenes, whatever companies he's been into, he hasn't always gone straight to the top. What he's sort of always done is he's gone, no, I don't go straight to the top. I want to build up to it.
Yeah.
Which is good. So,
I mean, I don't think for a second, though, he's getting any sort of say in how he's booked on WWE TV.
No, but no. But to be honest with you, I think he's done it when he was on the independent scene. I think he's done it that way deliberately to sort of set his mind in the set for when he is in WWE.
Yeah, so he's always got to work hard.
Yeah.
Not a bad shout. Out of this one, Matt Baines, would you say this was a highlight of the night for you, or it was just so-so?
I would say this is a 4.
A 4 out of 5 sausages?
4.
Really?
I do.
I could maybe be pushed to 3.5, but I don't think it was a 4.
I feel it was for me because it allowed me to get the ahead on the points.
Right. I wanted to talk about this for a while, Matt Baines. Ever since it was announced. This isn't a match that I want to talk about. This is the announcement that WWE has purchased AAA. What do we think about that? That's huge news. I mean, Jeff Jarrett's going to get GONNEED again. He's one of the top talents for AAA. Is bloody Jeff Jarrett. I'm sure Alberto Del Rio is the champion down there. He's going to get GONNEED as well.
Yep. But the talent that is there in AAA is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and they've already announced a Worlds Collide event.
Yeah.
To mirror Forbidden Door with NXT, WWE. Well, I don't know if NXT. I don't know if the main WWE roster will be included, but certainly AAA.
Nope, it is.
Nope. And the main roster as well. Sounds phenomenal. Exciting things to come from that relationship.
Yeah, that to me, when I saw it and I saw the graphic and it's all three of them, I was like, take my money.
Yeah, don't be surprised if WWE also do this with a promotion in Europe, with a promotion in Japan, a promotion in Australia. Don't be surprised if this starts to branch out now. The reason I think WWE has been doing so much with TNA is because they see it as a potential other company to purchase.
It is, but the difference is I feel as though the way that they're doing certain things right now with it, I don't think they're going to outright purchase it, because I feel as though if they outright purchase this, they're shooting themselves in the foot to a degree. But I feel as though they're going to sort of leave it be so there's at least a alternative option. They're just doing business with them.
Yeah.
So technically, there's still an alternative.
Okay.
Which
from Lucha Libres to Lucha Libres, then Matt Burns, eh?
Yep. We have got
Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. What happened here, Matt Burns?
It was meant to be Rey Mysterio. However, there was an injury that happened on SmackDown. And I will say, you instantly knew it was bad. The fact that you see Rey Mysterio sort of advising on a spot that he's meant to be in for somebody else to do.
Yeah. So sounds at this point like Rey Mysterio's torn his groin. Really serious injury. Could mean a year out. At Rey Mysterio's age, do I expect him to get back in the ring for WWE? No. Honestly, I think this is it for Rey Mysterio.
I think he'll do one more match.
Do you? I can't see it. I can't see him doing any more.
I think he'll do one more match, but it's got to be big.
Okay, good to know.
It's got to be big.
Good to see. But yeah, Ray Phoenix then replaced Rey Mysterio, lastminute.com. And a good replacement, actually. Phoenix just debuted on SmackDown, hasn't had to face up against anybody like El Grande Americano. I definitely think this changed the outcome of the match, because I think if Rey Mysterio had been in the match, then El Grande Americano probably would have been unmasked as a bit of a moment for the card.
Beforehand, I would have agreed with you. After, no.
Because
of that AAA purchase. I think that is absolutely genius. The fact is, they can use that now, El Grande Americano, as a pure heat magnet against AAA wrestlers.
Yeah, absolutely. Send him down to AAA. He's got Ultimo heat.
Oh, yeah. See what you did there. It's Al Primo. But honestly, for me, when I first saw the replacement, I looked at it, I was like, please, it's like, hang on. So if Rey Mysterio's out, that means Rey Phoenix becomes my new pick. I'm like, I've got this in the bag. And then it could be gone.
Yeah, and I think this I really enjoyed.
I love the story of the match.
Yeah, whoever's under that mask, Vince McMahon.
We all know it's secretly
Titus O'Neil, R-Truth, whoever it is under that mask, right? Genuinely is a great talent. All right, let's cut the crap. Chad Gable's incredible, right?
Yeah.
And Rey Phoenix, equally incredible. In fact, he's impressed me more than Penta since they both debuted. I thought this was fabulous. I thought it was really well structured. Really good, solid match. I'd give this 3 sausages quite easily, I think.
3.5.
3.5, yeah, maybe.
Definitely. Simply because there was 2 beats to this I thought that were really, really surprising. And I would think that these 2 stand-up moments in my head, I thought the stand-up moments were going to come from Rey Phoenix, and they didn't. The stand-up moments come from El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm going to say now, don't you?
I do. Say it.
The 450 moonsault.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I did not know he had that in him.
Well, El Grande Americano definitely has him.
Oh. And then, do you know the move that Rey Fenix uses when he runs across the ropes?
Yeah.
What's it called? It's Sayonara. You know exactly which one I'm about.
I know which movie you're talking
He
about.
runs across the ropes, PKs him in the head.
Gives him the penalty kick.
Yep. And pretty much, sayonara. And I think it was sort of genius, although I do question physics and logic to a degree. Metal plate in the mask. Wouldn't that hurt him just as much?
Yeah.
Should do. But I think how the reaction to Rey Fenix when he did is just the pure sal alone. I was like, oh, that's good. That's an interesting way to remove that arsenal.
Very much so. Yeah, it was really good. Really, really good. Yeah, 3.5 stars easily. The right person won, I think, so we can continue the El Grande Americano run. It was, I think it started as a joke, but it's fantastic. And that leads us on nicely to probably the match that was the most talked about going into this, Matt Burns.
All for the wrong reasons.
Let's talk about Tiffy and Charlotte, who wore the same outfit again for a start.
Really?
The double-hard Barbie and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah. What do you... I want to hear your thoughts first, and I'll give you mine.
On the match?
Mm-hmm.
It turned into a pretty good match, actually. It didn't feel like an instant classic or anything like that. I enjoyed it. I was happy. I was happy with the result. I don't know if I predicted Tiffy. I think I did. I predicted Charlotte. Oh my God, what did I do that for?
Wait, both of us did.
Did we? Yeah, and it's because you can never count
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, you always think they're going to put her over because they always put Charlotte Flair over. I think it was perfectly acceptable wrestling. I was more interested when they started throwing live rounds. And don't tell me they didn't, because they absolutely did.
Oh, yeah.
There was some wrestling, and then there was some live rounds, and then was some wrestling. And Tiffy lost 2 teeth, right? She became Tiffy 2 teeth in that moment. When she was over and she'd lost them 2 teeth, and you got the shot, she didn't show it off enough for me. I'd have been really like giving him a grill to show him off, like Cesaro did when he did his.
Yep.
But they did talk about it in the post show. But yeah, she could have got some real sympathy and a bit of double hard moment from that, but she didn't. But I do think the match was still good. I enjoyed the finish because it surprised me. And yeah, overall, I think they did all right.
I'll say this to you now. Happy with the results. Don't mind being wrong.
Yeah.
Happy to be wrong. I just think the professional level dipped down way too much. It dipped way down too much, and you clearly saw who the instigator was.
Do you think we're being worked?
No.
Do you think she's daft enough to go out on the biggest show of the year and go into business for herself?
She has notoriously been reported of doing that numerous times on individuals on multiple occasions, and you've seen it. The fact that she went out and buried in promos, and it was like, I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was waiting for it for the live rounds. If I was to place a bet on them on there being live rounds, it wasn't a matter of if there were going to be live rounds. It was a matter of when there was going to be live rounds. And I knew it was going to come from Charlotte first.
Okay.
Because I feel as though she's she does it on a lot of talent where she buries them, and if they don't step up, then she just absolutely destroys them. And in this case, she's come across somebody who, yeah, at first she's buried, but then when Tiffany got clued up on what Charlotte was doing, she sort of did her homework and fired back. And Charlotte didn't like having eaten her own medicine. To a relative degree. It's like, oh, you want to shame me? I'm this person. It's like, I feel as though words should be ushered in the locker room.
Yeah.
To Charlotte. Because
that big a deal. And I didn't buy it. Maybe that's my problem. I don't buy that it wasn't a work.
No, as much as I can sit there and say it's not a work, fair enough. If it is a work, greatest work ever.
You've been worked.
That's fine. I'm happy with. I'll be happy with that. But when a work is causing people to lose teeth, that shouldn't be happening. Teeth should not be coming out of people's mouths. It's unsafe. It's unsafe work. Some people consider saying I'm being, a bit of a Bret Hart being bitter. I saw the smirk. I can see the smirk.
Talk about that.
Yeah, but the point being is, quite factually, with this scenario,
yeah,
I felt as though once the live rounds had fired and a receipt was given, it suddenly then became professional. It's like, hang on, stop firing live rounds, work with me here, because if you continue firing live rounds, how's it going to look? How would it look if Charlotte legitimately knocked out Tiffany Stratton just to take the title? She'd be fired.
It was never going to happen, though, was it? And I think that's why I don't believe it.
Mm.
Maybe that's why I don't believe that it is that is what happened. And I think they were working, but they got a bit carried away. But I mean, who knows? Who knows for sure? We'll never know.
Who knows? We'll never know. And to be honest with you, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, probably, because then we can't have an opinion either way on whether it was professional or unprofessional.
Yeah. Moving on.
Let's talk about a swerve, Matt Burns. Hall of Fame ceremony. All the Hall of Famers come out. Triple H shakes Steve Austin's hand. Triple H shakes Bret Hart's hand, and Bret Hart rolls his eyes. What a dick. What a dick.
It wasn't just the roll of his eyes, because if you looked at the Hall of Fame ceremony, he rolled his eyes at Pat McAfee for the whole beer spill. He's with Austin.
Just being a prat, wasn't he? Just being a bit of a prat.
No, just right. I will say with Bret Hart, he is a phenomenal wrestler. Yes, I am a fan of his old work. I think the individual right now, bitter.
Yeah. Right. Let's talk about the real swerve of the night then. Right. Let's talk about Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk with Paul Heyman in his corner. Right, Matt Burns, talk to me about what happened here.
I thought it was a red herring.
Did you?
I thought it was. That's why I went with my pick. I thought it was going to be a red herring, and I felt as though it was going to happen after the match.
Yeah.
And then, as soon as I saw the whole chair, Paul Heyman's got to get a chair, I was like, inside me, I was like, no, stop it. And when he passed it to CM Punk, I was like,
you didn't believe it.
I just went, wait for it. Bam! There it is.
No way. Can't believe it didn't catch you out.
It was the second he went for the chair. The second he got involved, I thought to myself, right there.
You thought there was more to it in that moment?
Yeah.
See, I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was a tell until until Paul got behind Roman.
No. I'm saying the Punk one was a tell.
Ah, right. See, I didn't think the Punk one was a tell. I thought the Roman one was a tell.
The Roman one, I thought to myself, I was adjusting there when it went, like you just said, as soon as it got behind, I'm like, there goes the red. It's not a red herring. It's not a red herring. It's not a red herring.
Yeah, exactly how I felt.
And what made it even better, and this is, I've got to say, with Paul Heyman, when he turns on a client, a friend, associate, the smug face he pulls when he's raised.
His face said it all, didn't it? His face literally said it all.
No, and the way he literally hands the chair and just like, get the job done. Whenever he's raising the when he raised Seth's hand, he pulled that smug face as if to say, I got you face. And he does it every time when he does it, and it's like,
caught us out totally, didn't it? I think fair to say. We were having a quick chat about it before, and even though it had been like sort of leaked online, nobody actually thought that would happen. It was just a nice theory, and when it actually came through, holy smokes! Let me just break it down for you because I don't think we did a good job there. But Paul Heyman's on the outside of the ring. All three men are down. Punk on the left of him, Roman on the right, and Seth at the other side of the ring.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman gets a chair, and he then has to decide who he's going to give it to. So he pushes the chair to CM Punk, and for whatever reason, he gets up on the apron into the ring. CM Punk picks up the chair. He's about to hit Roman Reigns, and bam! Paul Heyman gives CM Punk a big low blow. Absolutely huge. A cheap shot, totally. Roman then picks up the chair, thinks the tribal chief's wise man is back with him. He absolutely wails on CM Punk with some huge shots, putting CM Punk out of the match for good. Paul Heyman then turns him to Seth Rollins and said, look, it's just like the Shield. Get him now. Almost like Palpatine levels. It was like, kill him now. And as Roman, goes to wail the chair on Seth Rollins in the back, bang, bit of jiggery pokery on Roman's massive bollocks. And Roman's down, Punk's down, both low blowed. Heyman picks up the chair and gives it to Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins,
who didn't even have to turn around, by the way.
He knew. And Seth Rollins gets the chair, wails on Roman Reigns, and eventually wins the match. And that is how the end of night one sort of finished. I'm interested in your thoughts, whether you thought it was the right person going over. I tell you what this really does for me. It ends the Bloodline saga. There's now no more wise man. Jey Uso is a world champ. Jacob Fatu is a US champ. The Bloodline is disbanded. It ends the Bloodline saga for me, this does, because the wise man and Roman Reigns is what it started with. This is the end of that Bloodline story.
I think it is the end of the Bloodline story, but just the beginning.
And that's it. That's what's exciting. It's the beginning of whatever is coming next.
No. There's actually two storylines I think are in play here. There is the beginning of the continuation of CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But I also think the whole Seth and Roman isn't over.
But what I mean by the story is Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins and whatever they're going to embark on next.
Yeah, exactly.
That story,
exactly.
Rollins as a heel has hit and it's missed, right? As part of the Authority, the architect, it totally hit. When he did the Monday Night Messiah, it totally missed.
I'm going to say this to you right now. I think they had the hint of the architect. And the reason why I think is I expected Seth to turn fully heel at WrestleMania. And the reason why is because in his promo, what did he keep saying in the promo?
Best for business. I called this out to you in the predictions.
Yeah.
This is something I clicked onto. The only thing is then I didn't get it because we didn't get The Rock at WrestleMania. Spoilers for night 2. But because of that, we didn't sort of get... I almost expected the end of night 2 to be like WrestleMania 41, where at the end we got a bit of a cluster of everybody in. and The Rock's there, and Seth's there, and Travis Scott's there, and Austin's there, and we didn't get any of that. So I'm almost that's why I'm really excited for Seth Rollins and what's next, because whatever we're going to get on Raw tonight, SmackDown Friday, it's going to be special. And some of these guys are going to be out for blood. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a cage match tonight. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
Bear in mind, we've got the aftermath of that, but we've also got the aftermath of the main event of night 2, which we'll get to later.
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose that was night 1, Matt Burns. I was totally shocked. You not so much. But I mean, how did you feel? What was your best and worst moment? What was your banger and what was your clanger for night 1?
For me,
yes, that is the new format. What was your banger and what was your clanger?
I like that. I like that a lot.
If you're listening or watching along live, please get your thoughts in the chat, in the live chat, or in the comments. What was the best thing of night 1 and what was the worst?
For me, I feel as though me banger was the main event of night 1.
Yeah.
Because the red herring that I thought was there, but it wasn't the red herring, is actually factual, got me. I think the fact that they got me by literally saying, they literally told us what's going to happen. No, that's not going to happen. It happened.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get that.
The clanger, okay, for me, it's between 2. It's between Jade Cargill and Naomi, but it's not a clanger in any sense. It was god awful. But I feel as though the clanger could potentially be on the Tiffany, Stratton, and Charlotte Flair because of the live rounds. Even though it was a really good match.
Interesting. I was going to say,
even though it was a really good match.
I think that's why, though. I think without that, it's got no heat.
It's a pet peeve. It's a really pet peeve of mine. But I am going to go with the Jade Cargill and Naomi, but it's not out of any fault of theirs, of their own. I still think it was a good match, even though it's a clanger. Somebody has to be the clanger.
Yeah, okay. I thought the banger of the night, the same as you, was that
main event,
that triple threat main event. I think Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. What a match! It was fabulous. I think for me, the clanger within the night 1 of WrestleMania was probably Fenix and Americano, only because I was looking forward to Mysterio.
Understandable.
And that's why it was for me. We've also got another comment here, Matt Burns. Guitar Crow is asking about Backlash on May 10th, whether we've got any card predictions. I suppose out of what we've just had on night 1, I would probably predict Jacob Fatu defends against Solo. That's my Backlash card prediction. I also think CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for Backlash. They're probably my 2 predictions based on what we saw on night 1.
Yeah.
You got any?
Nope. Spot on.
Agreed with them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's spot on. I feel as though Jade Cargill and Naomi done. I feel as though New Day could have potentially have a defense.
Yeah, maybe a rematch, maybe against Fatu. Yeah. What I would say, Guitar Grow, is I don't think we've seen you on the chat before, so thanks very much for watching along with us. Make sure you give us a subscribe and a like. It's free, so we expect you to follow through and make it happen for us. Just kidding. But thanks for watching along, and thanks for commenting. Make sure you keep getting your comments in. How did you feel about night 1 of WrestleMania? As we move on, Matt Burns, to night 2.
Well, we've just had an additional. What we'll do is we'll throw that our additional thoughts of the Hall of Fame on straight after quickly. Once we've done night 2.
I don't mind doing it now. Let's have a chat about what Nate wants to have a chat about. Thoughts on the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah, go on.
I am not surprised so many of the old timers fell asleep. It was long. Yeah. Triple H's acceptance speech was over an hour long. Legit, I timed it. It was good. It was really heartfelt, but it was long.
Well, come on. It's like he's cutting the promo. It's like he's the game in the ring.
But with it being Triple H, I thought we'd just get 20 minutes at the start of the show. Hey.
I see what you did there.
See, topical. Topical. Right, not even topical. It was topical in 2003. Let's move on then, as we said we would, to night 2 of WrestleMania. And I think for me, maybe the first match is the match I most want to talk about. It's Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley that opened night 2. And what a fabulous match, Matt Burns.
I'm going to say this. Night 2, to end night 1 on a triple threat, and then start night 2 with a triple threat for a championship.
Also, though, to say that those 2 triple threat matches, and I know we're going to talk about the entire card now, but were my 2 favorite in fact, the 3 triple threat matches this weekend, Stand and Deliver, night 1 main event, night 2 opener, were my 3 favorite matches of the weekend. But this women's match was my number 1 favorite match of the weekend. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. In fact, I dare say, Matt Burns, match of the year for me so far.
Match of the night, match of the event, match of WrestleMania.
Yeah, easily.
Of WrestleMania. Yeah. This was absolutely phenomenal. And what was so interesting with this is, I will say, I was nervous going into this match.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because, remember when we did the predictions?
Yes.
And I said, 9 out of 10 times, the one who's normally on top right before the show normally doesn't win the match.
Yeah, and you'd predicted Io.
I predicted Io,
Io.
Yeah. And yet Io looked strong on SmackDown, taking them both out with the and I was
she's looked strong all the way through it, mate. All 3 of them, to be fair. And when they did the entrances, they gave the stats on them. So this was what I found really interesting. Bianca Belair was 5-0 at WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley was 3-0 in title matches at WrestleMania. And Io Sky...
No, 3-0. No. She has lost the title at WrestleMania.
The NXT. Don't really count Matt Burns. Don't count Matt Burns. You've distracted me now. And Io Sky, obviously the champion, coming into 2 WrestleManias back to back. And I thought, oh, maybe she'll pick this one up because she lost last year. So that all 3 of them, I thought, as we were going into the match, I thought, oh God, any of them could actually win this. And then we get the match, and it's fabulous. It's fantastic spot after fantastic spot. So many good near falls, so many good moments. Riptide off the top. Bianca Belair hitting, countless KODs. We got a call back to the main with Sasha Banks where she hit Rhea with the braid and it made the fabulous noise. We had Io hitting moonsaults to break up pin attempts and submission attempts. And honestly, in the moment, I honestly believe that my prediction was going to come true and Bianca Belair had got the win.
For me,
when Io came off and hit that last moonsault to break up that last pin, I was absolutely devastated. But at the same time, I was so happy because the match had been so damn good.
Do you know I thought it told the story from the get-go? The entrances told a story. The fact that Io, who is the champion, comes out first.
Oh, you've got your bee in your bonnet about this, Matt Burns. I don't
want to
hear any more of this.
No, it's not a bit. No. Wait for it. There's a reason I'm saying this.
Okay.
There's a logical reason. You'll see.
I was getting really upset with you then.
No, I thought what they did was genius.
Yeah.
And you'll see why. She come out with a plain entrance.
Yeah.
Right. Then you had the other 2 come out. Glamorous entrances for them.
Yeah.
As if I just felt as though just from the entrances, you can see like there's more focus on them 2. Yeah. She's being treated as a 3rd wheel in this match. I was like, use this to your advantage.
Yeah, you've got to be in your bonnet about this champion should come out last. I couldn't disagree more. Since the beginning of time, the big babyface comes out last, right? Not the champion, the big babyface. right?
Io was the big baby face in this one.
No, Rhea Ripley was the big baby face in the match, Matt Burns. Rhea Ripley is the woman. You know what I mean? If Becky Lynch is the man, Rhea Ripley's the woman. People love her. She was the big star attraction in this match. Bianca's going to turn soon enough. You know,
she's got to.
Having the champion come out last would have been ridiculous because Rhea Ripley's the star of the show.
No. I think the fact that the way that they actually did the entrances was fine.
Yeah, it helped the story. I get you.
That's what I was on about.
I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I wasn't
We're going to put champions. Listen, eventually we're going to put champions coming out last in Room 101. It's going to get buried alive.
No.
shall we move on to the next match? Because I could talk about Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley all night. But if you haven't seen it, right? I mean, for a start, if you haven't seen it, why are you watching this? But if you haven't seen
Get on Netflix.
Yeah, Peacock, Netflix, however you enjoy your wrestling, go back and watch Night 2, WrestleMania, the first match. It's the only match I would say is can't miss. It was fabulous. Really, really good. Right, next one, from can't miss to wish I'd missed.
Wait. Can I give me rating?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
For that match.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 bangers, absolutely, all day. Right. Can I now give me I had a nice like sort of segue between the matches and you've ruined it. So from unmissable to wish I'd missed it, we've got Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest.
It was a bit of a sin of a match of itself.
It was I like Drew McIntyre a lot. I've never been sold on Damian Priest. I don't get it. I just don't get it. It doesn't compute for me. I don't find him entertaining. He's a bit nothing for me. And I felt a bit sorry for Drew being in this match. Drew McIntyre almost turned himself into a meme for this match. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the street fight. I didn't enjoy the work that they put in. And I could have done without it, tell the truth. How do you feel about that?
Broke tradition as well.
Who has?
They broke tradition in the match.
Why?
Who sets up the tables outside?
Yeah. Who puts the tables goes through them, unless you're Devon Dudley. Devon always gets the tables. Yeah, no, I just didn't. Yeah, I think we should move on.
I personally feel this match
to get this one banger.
No, I'm going to give it more, but you're going to agree with me with this. I feel this did a bit of damage to both of them.
Yeah.
Because it brought Drew down a little bit into mid-card status, but it made Damian look really weak because Drew dominated it in this match.
Yeah. Why we couldn't have saved another member of the bloodline to wrestle Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, just to continue that story, I'll never know.
Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy, Sammy. We could have saved Sammy.
Just
the whole thing. Just disappointing for me, Matt Burns.
The finish I thought was inventive and creative.
Yeah, didn't save it though for me.
No. It was creative. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that.
Let's. I don't want to be too negative on the channel, Matt Burns, but Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest we didn't enjoy it. So let's move on. Let's talk about.
Well, wait. Before we go, we want to know what the clanger is.
Yeah. Let's talk about Bron Breakker, Penta, Dom, and Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. This is going to make me feel a bit more warm and fuzzy.
I don't know what to say to this.
Well, you properly just chanced it and said Dominic in the predictions and somehow got it right. Like you didn't have a theory. You just thought
I had sort of a small theory, but it was more.
You just thought, no. Let's see what happens. You were rolling the dice.
No, it was a small theory. It was a small thread. But did I believe it was going to get pulled? Did I boot? Did I think it was going to get pulled?
So, yeah, Bron Breakker loses the Intercontinental title to Dominic Mysterio in a four-way with Penta and Finn Balor. The real story here was Dom turning on Finn in the match.
Yeah.
Drop kicking him in the back and going for the 619. Finn realizing that what Dom's done as he catches his feet. And then eventually Dom getting the pin on Finn to win. That's lots of rhyming. The Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, Dom getting the pin on Finn for the win.
Yeah.
Love it.
Disappointed for Bron Breakker. I don't think his run's been everything that he would have wanted it to be.
No. I think it's fine. I think he's ready to go up.
Do you think he's ready already?
I think the way he has carried himself throughout the advertising of this, I think he's got upper mid card to go up. Genuinely, he has stepped up on a level that is absolutely unbelievable in such a short amount of time.
Do you know what? I know we're retrospectively booking here, or I am anyway. But how much better would it have been if, how much better would it have been if we'd forgot the Damian Priest Drew McIntyre thing? Bron Breakker had lost the title during some Finn and Dominic shenanigans a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we'd have got Drew versus Bron, putting Bron over for the future. And then we'd got Penta, Dominic, and Finn in a triple threat for the Intercontinental.
Good match there.
Yeah, I think we'd have saved it then, maybe. May actually says that she enjoyed the buzz at the end of the Intercontinental match. And May, I think you're spot on. We were talking about this beforehand.
We were just about to get to this, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it beforehand. And I think, Dominic almost, you said it best, Matt Burns, actually, before we started. Yeah, when you were talking about Dom, it was almost as if a babyface had won the title at the end of the match.
Genuinely, I looked at it, and as he came out, and you saw the realization, you see him and run back, and you just see Finn's face in disgust, and you see him jump up. Yeah, and the crowd are going mental. All the reactionists who are watching it are going mental. The wild chuff for him and everything. And yeah, I feel as though in that match, and I think what did it for it, he was, in that match, the underdog.
Yeah. Nobody believed he was going to win.
Well, I did.
But the buzz was real. The buzz was real because everybody, I think, we've when Dom first started and he was thrust straight onto the main roster and he struggled to begin with to find character. He was playing that white meat babyface, tagging with his dad, and Edge was in the what's as well.
And the mix.
And then he turned heel and he was still trying to find his feet. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest and Finn Balor all put their arm around him and show him the way. And he's been working with that Judgment Day stable now for the best part of 2-3 years, maybe. And it's done him the world of good. And I think he won that title and it was the right time for him. Sometimes you can win a title too soon and it can hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you can win a title too late and you almost feel like
you've missed the boat.
You've missed the boat. I think Dominic Mysterio winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania this year is somebody winning the right title at the right time. And the crowd just loving it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, when I saw the double foot stomp out, and do you like it in your head? You said your head does that little replay.
Yeah.
Right, because I remember Finn tripping Dom up right before he dealt with Bron Breakker, and then he nails the double foot stomp. And as he pins him, he goes, 1, 2. I'm like, where's never mind.
Absolutely. Get your thoughts for the matches we're talking about in the live chat or in the comments below. But for me, Matt Burns, I think Bron Breakker, Penta, Dom, and Finn, for me, that gets 4 bangers.
Oh, yeah. 4.5.
It's a solid 4-banger match, that is. I really enjoyed it.
I'd say 4.5 for me because
Did you go that high?
I do.
Because the finish.
It wasn't just the finish. As much as Dom has been a heel or anything, he actually looked like a face. Genuinely.
Some exciting stuff going to go on with that character this year.
Oh, yeah. And if it doesn't, you've missed out. Because for me, I feel as though absolute great match. Contender for match of the night?
I mean, it wasn't as good as the women's triple threat
No.
that opened, but it was good.
Would have been if we didn't have the women's triple threat.
A contender, certainly. The match of the night, no
definitely.
way. Because that triple threat women's match for me was match of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know what else I'm really excited about just before we move on? The AAA partnership, right? Not for Dominic Mysterio, not for Penta. I'm really excited for that for Finn Balor because I think his heel persona is perfect for matches against luchadors, just like Chad Gable. You know, they wrestle a very good junior heavyweight style that's fast paced. You know,
means business.
Finn Balor certainly has got some of that Japanese influence in him.
Well, he used to wrestle there quite a lot.
Yeah, you know, and I just think perfect to wrestle that Lucha Libre style. Right.
Maybe bring back the real Rock-a-Roller.
Yeah. Right. Next match, Matt Burns. And I think it's fair to say.
I'm about to say this. Do you remember earlier when I said we might have already have our contender for the clanger?
Yeah, this was a letdown for me. This was Randy Orton against his mystery opponent. And it was Joe Hendry, right? Sorry, that was a bit cringe when it says.
No, it's fine.
So Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry. We wanted Rusev and we got his lawyer.
Who wasn't actually meant to be his lawyer.
No, exactly that, yeah. So, right, yeah, Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry. It was a squash. Randy Orton got the win. We both thought he would, no matter who he wrestled, because it's Randy Orton. And I don't think it necessarily hurts Joe Hendry to wrestle at WrestleMania and lose to Randy Orton. It maybe hurts the TNA brand in terms of it being seen in a better light. If TNA is seen as an equal to NXT, that's a totally acceptable thing to happen and finish. If we want TNA to be seen as more than, then we hurt it then.
Yeah.
But I think for what it was fine. It could have been more. And what I really, really liked, and we've been talking about it, was a certain Karrion Kross's interview last night following the show, where he really thought he should have been in this match.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, Matt Beans, where can we find that?
You can pretty much either find that on X/Twitter, which, if I'm not mistaken, it's on. You can see it on Tim V Knockout Hub. There, you can probably see it on. It's actually part of the WWE. It's actually on the WWE under the what was it? WWE recap.
Okay, under the WWE recap. So it's there for you to see. The match itself, Randy Orton, he pretty much he let Joe Hendry get a little bit of offense in, but it was pretty much a squash. And following the match, Randy Orton took the mix, didn't he? And did the Joe Hendry pose with his own sort of
and it old classic pose,
Oof,
now
felt like a burial.
Yeah, for me, the promo that you're referring to is you can actually hear it also on Spotify,
right?
As well.
Good.
So it's on podcasts as well format, but it was actually on the WrestleMania recap. So for me, what?
The night 2 recap. Oh, we're on the podcast. Got you.
It's a podcast. It was done. It was done on there, and
there's that much content this weekend, Matt Burns.
Yeah, there is. There's that much content, and I can understand the content, but we'll get back to the Karrion Kross part after we discuss the match after the Randy Orton one, potentially.
Before we do that, let's just answer this question from May. With the AAA deal, do you think it might bring back Lucha Underground vibes? And what I mean by that is awesome off-the-rails matches. Now, interesting that May uses the Lucha Underground name, as there was rumors 4 weeks ago that WWE had purchased the licensing for Lucha Underground after they'd obviously got the Netflix deal. Lucha Underground used to be broadcast on Netflix, certainly in the UK. I'm not sure about the rest of the world. I absolutely think AAA will continue to operate as it does now, with more influence on the overall presentation and the production of TV show. I don't think they will change necessarily the style of in-ring work. I think, if anything, that could have more of an influence on the main roster than us having an influence on AAA. I think the main influence going that way to AAA will be on the production and maybe talent snatch.
The thing is, a lot of people make the assumption that Lucha Underground was owned by AAA.
Yeah, it wasn't. Absolutely not.
It wasn't. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was founded by the United Artists Media Group. So, but it did have a lot of AAA workers on it, which is fine, right? Now, it was part of the, if I'm not mistaken, the Al Ray network, but it was owned by the MGM Television.
Okay.
It's part of the production companies. So that's interesting in its own right. Now, the thing is, Lucha Underground basically cancelled because of budget.
Yeah.
Budget concerns. So that's what it did. Technically, the whole Lucha Underground ended up being part of, for a short bit, for MLW.
Yeah.
Because they had individuals on there.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure now the name is owned by WWE. There's nothing that's been out that confirms that, but it was heavily rumored a few weeks ago. And I wouldn't be surprised, Jeff definitely would not be surprised.
I'm just looking into it now.
Before we go any further into that, Matt Burns, we should probably move on to our next match.
Well,
I don't want to get too sidetracked on this. I want to do a bit of a AAA special on YouTube in a week or so.
Well, I'll just pretty much I've got a way to end it anyway.
Okay.
Pretty much the discussion. Technically, it moved over to Major League Wrestling, which then sort of transition the elements sort of transition into MLW Azteca.
Yeah.
So it's similar in fashion. So that's where I think, but a lot of people make the mistake because of AAA wrestlers. But that's it. I still think, I think you just hit the nail on the head. It's going to be talent taken away from AAA. But I feel as though AAA is going to get the odd special individual.
1000%. They're definitely going to chuck everything into it just to try and make it into a moneymaker for them. Right. Let's talk about the influencer. The number one influencer in professional wrestling, taking on AJ Styles. So it's Logan Paul, AJ Styles. Oh, Matt Burns, how do we feel about this one?
He's humble, isn't he?
Do you know what? I really liked his entrance, the camera angles, the how they did it on the screen. I really enjoyed it.
It made me laugh when he threw something towards that fan and he just made him into a millionaire.
Oh yeah, that bottle of Prime.
Yeah, I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I
like Logan Paul. I really do. I also had a feeling he was going to win this match, and he did, because he's lost quite a lot to main event talent wrestlers. AJ Styles, for better or for worse, isn't seen as a main event talent currently in WWE. He's an upper mid carder.
He should be.
Yeah, but he isn't. He's an upper mid carder at best currently. And so I saw Logan Paul going over, and that's exactly what we got. The match was okay. It was perfectly acceptable.
I think Paul's got a great finish.
Yeah, it didn't blow me away, but I also didn't think it was bad.
Did not expect to see Karrion Kross.
See, that's the story, though, isn't it, over the last few... I'm glad that this played a part in it and Karrion Kross got a spot on the show.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of people that didn't get a spot on the show this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but that was on SmackDown. The Street Profits are the tag team champions. They didn't get a sniff at WrestleMania.
And supposedly there's a TLC now on Friday.
Yeah, this week, yeah. But Karrion Kross got his moment at WrestleMania. Even if he wasn't in a match, he did get a spot on the show. So I was really happy for that for him.
I'm going to say that to me, that felt like even though technically he's trying to convince AJ to do bad, and still stopping somebody from, you know what I mean? He still stopped somebody from using brass knucks on AJ.
Yeah.
So you
I
can't.
wonder if they're going to become a tag team for the foreseeable.
Who knows? Who knows?
A tag team that become a tag team that eventually, like a short-term tag team that eventually break up and feud.
Yeah, but I feel as though Karrion is being very, very underutilized. And I feel as though the biggest clue of this was the frustration on that interview. Because, like you said to me off this, when people are dropping pipe bombs, you got Karrion coming in with nukes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that promo was really good, and it showed his frustration at not being on the card in a match. He thought he should have wrestled Drew McIntyre, but also I think that he got on the, like I say, he got on the card, and a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him in that respect.
He got an appearance.
And you say he's underutilized, and I know he had a match on this week's Raw just gone, and it was his first match on TV for like 3 months or whatever, singles match. But I think the way he has been used has been very clever. And I think if this is a character that they are wanting to pursue this year, I think a superstar shake-up draft post-WrestleMania is the perfect time for us to do something with Karrion Kross.
What I'm just saying is, please do something with him. Please.
Yeah,
because I wasn't for a while. I wasn't for a while. But he has turned me around on it. And when you see, like when I did the write-up on the Karrion Kross effect.
Yeah. On the blog, on the BurningTruthUK.com. Check out the blog. Smackburn's got one on there.
Yeah. And it's like, when you see the little patterns, and it's really, really good. The thing about Karrion, he is such a great worker. He knows how to play that mind game. He reminds me of a modern Jake the Snake.
Yeah, I can see that.
Genuinely. And the fact is, even though he didn't actually have a match at WrestleMania, he had a match on Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, which I will say.
Yeah, he did well, didn't he? May's asked another question, but I'm going to hold that, May, if you don't mind, until the end of the show, and we'll talk about that then. I think it'll be really good. Let's move on and discuss Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. What happened here, Matt Burns?
Oh no, Bayley's been attacked. Off the show.
Yeah, and was replaced by.
Now, a lot of people sit there saying, if she's legit injured, she shouldn't be on WrestleMania. She should be leaving WWE. Fans, it's a work storyline. Yeah. Calm down.
Disappointed for Bayley though in that respect.
I feel sorry for Bayley in that sense because she just lost the WrestleMania match.
Yeah, I would have rather Lyra Valkyria got injured. There you go. That's life, isn't it? So Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Becky Lynch was the surprise. Probably, a nice surprise for the night. Really predictable though. Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch. They've got
as soon as I heard
Irish.
No, it's okay when Becky Lynch says, "I'm not wrestling. I'm doing this," and it's like, okay, fair enough. And then as soon as I saw the Bayley's now injured, I was like,
"It's Becky Lynch."
It was just literally, really. We know Becky Lynch.
I tell you why, because who else was it going to be, Matt Burns? There is no other surprise that they could have pulled off. If it had been Trish Stratus, we've only just seen her. If it had been Lita, it hasn't been too long since we've seen her. If it had been, so the only other thing that I thought of is that it could have been Paige. But the problem with it being Paige is there was no story there for it to be Paige, which is why I didn't see it happening. So Becky Lynch seemed the most obvious and the one that was probably going to do it, and it was right. So I was a bit disappointed, but equally, the match was perfectly acceptable. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyrie are the champs. I expect them to lose them back to Liv Morgan and Raquel, maybe at Backlash, maybe even tonight. But it was a nice moment. Let's just move on.
Maybe have Bailey get bitter because she got attacked and replaced.
Oh no, I don't want to see another heel Bailey for a while. I want to see babyface Bailey. I want to see babyface Bailey as the champion. And again, but like a decent run this
proper
time.
Run.
Right. Let's talk about it then, Matt Burns. We skirted around it. Let's talk about the main event of WrestleMania Night 2. Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Undisputed Championship against the GOAT, John Cena.
Where do I begin with this?
Just give me your thoughts on the match.
Wrestling-wise, as in move for move, wasn't a masterclass.
No.
But it didn't.
No John Cena matches, though.
It didn't need to be.
Yeah.
However, I feel the character work that was done in this match was El Primo Supreme. Absolute cream of the crop. I thought it was really, really clever, the fact that John Cena had changed nothing of his moves.
Yeah.
He just slowed down.
Yeah, slowed down. Poke to the eye, pulling the turnbuckle pad off, kick to the nads, get the belt, all that stuff that heels do. Ric Flair won 16 championships doing it that way. John Cena's won one.
Yeah.
But it was the one that takes him past 16.
Yeah, he's now a 17-time world champion.
The only, according to WWE. It's debatable, but
the difference,
17-time world champion.
For me, what I find so interesting with this is this was John Cena's last WrestleMania, his last hurrah. His
entrance, no pomp and circumstance, black screen, white writing, John Cena.
That was it. Nothing's better. And the weird thing about it is, a lot of people can sit there saying, "You're doing less. Why are you doing that? That's not good enough." You hate him, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
He's done his job.
1,000%.
And I think in the simplicity of doing that, by doing less, he has made it more stand out by doing far less.
Yeah.
Because Cody.
I loved it. So my take is I loved it. I got my John Cena t-shirt on. I got my belt. I got the whole kit. I love that they put John Cena over. I love that he's the 17-time world champion. I predicted that Cody was going to win beforehand. And I would have been just as happy if he played with your t-shirt there. Don't forget to be available on theburningtruthuk.com.
I was just adjusting it, that's all.
I predicted Cody Rhodes. I thought Cody Rhodes was going to win. I wanted Cody Rhodes to win. I stand corrected. I watched it. I watched John Cena get the victory. I was totally enthralled. Not by the match, belt to belt, move for move, fair dues, but by the story that was told. The only thing that let it down for me, if I'm being totally honest.
Can I point one thing out that I thought was really, really clever?
Yeah.
Cena actually put a spoiler in his promo on SmackDown.
Did he? What did he say?
The comment is, you are going to either do what is best for them or what is best to win. And he did what's best for the crowd on the night by not hitting him with the belt and took a kick to the knackers.
Absolutely. And John Cena, the only I was just about to say the only thing that let it down for me was Travis Scott. So we didn't get all the 1,000 run-ins that I was expecting following last year's WrestleMania. They went in a completely different direction. We did get Travis Scott with his entrance music and his whole thing. It felt a bit weird. It almost felt like Jeff Hardy doing a run-in to save his brother, but dancing first. We got the whole entrance of him. I mean, it was a bit pants. Travis Scott, I'm not sold on him. I still don't know who he is, Matt Burns. I can see he's the hardcore champion, whatever that means in 2025.
It's a fan belt. It's not
even the real hardcore championship because it's like the previous version of the WWE title.
Right. He is a musical artist.
I get that. But I don't know who he is. I've never seen him in anything.
Me personally, the biggest factor for this match was not even there. The biggest factor. And I think the funniest thing about this is a certain meme that we got shared on the Burning Truth.
Yeah. The what time are you going to be here, bro? And then there's a picture of The Rock. What does that mean? It means I'm not coming.
I'm not going to be there.
Yeah. So yeah, no Rock, but I didn't miss him. I thought the match was fine. If there'd been no Rock and no Travis Scott, I'd have been happy as Larry.
Yeah, it was the fact that there was a Travis Scott and no Rock. It was like
weird. Yeah, it was weird because we got the wrong one. Because Travis Scott shouldn't have been there at Elimination Chamber, as far as I'm concerned,
and shouldn't have been handing out punches. Although I thought,
I don't mind that.
But I think Cody really made that. He actually used that to his advantage. Get in the ring, Punk. I still owe you one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they turned something that could have been conceived as bad into something really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed Cody versus John Cena. I'm not ashamed to say it. I enjoyed that John Cena is now the 17-time world champ because I'm really interested to see where the story goes next.
Yeah.
And that's the best part, right? Where does this go next?
I'm going to say this to you now before we even get into it. Cena, 17-time world champion on the post show.
Oh, see, I haven't seen the post show, but you were telling me about it before.
I absolutely love it. Because for me, he absolutely... Do you know before at Elimination Chamber how he walked in, dropped the mic, left?
Yeah.
He didn't do that. He come in. He somehow ripped off the Cody Rhodes side plates off and just flung them. And just goes, you're now officially talking to the last real WWE world champion.
Madness.
Put it, literally put it down. It's like, oh, that's really clever. That's really good.
Nice beats in the story, aren't they? So really excited to see what happens next with John Cena. Really excited.
And then he pretty much buried the people who were asking him questions was by saying, "Yeah, that's clickbait. You're just trying to chase up for a title." Next, he did it 4 times. Then just went, he's disappointed in him. If you want a headline, tune on Monday Night Raw when I actually reveal how I literally ruin wrestling for you all.
Yeah, which was his plan all along. Right, Matt Burns, let's do bangers and clangers for night 2. What was your best and worst moment? What was your banger? What was your best moment? And what was your clanger, your worst moment?
We already know what the banger is. I would love to say the banger is the main event. I really, really would.
It was okay, yeah.
No. I would love to. But there's no way I can. Absolutely no way. Especially when you've got the first match being that triple threat women's world championship.
Could have closed the show. Could have closed WrestleMania this year.
It was chef's kiss. Loved it. Absolutely. That was just peak.
Yeah, for me, that's the same. The banger for me was Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley for the women's world title. What about your clanger, Matt Burns?
I'm stuck between 2.
Go on, just give him us.
I'm stuck between the Sin City Street fight.
Yeah.
And the Orton and Henry.
Okay.
The reason being is one tarnished both wrestlers, and the other good pop for an entrance. 3 minutes and 10 minutes. Why turn up?
Yeah. Well, for the exposure of being on WrestleMania, but I get what you're saying. I'll let you have both of those clangers this time, Matt Burns. My clanger.
No. I'm gonna pick one, and it's gonna be the Randy Orton Joe Hendry because I feel as
Oh,
and no, you might disagree with me. The reason why is because I'm trying to keep it clean here without swearing. I'm trying to keep it clean.
Say what you want, Matt Burns.
The reason why it annoys me so much is because in the past stuff, when we sit there going, "Oh, it's going to be Joe Hendry. It's going to be Joe Hendry." No, it's not. It's it's Jimmy Uso. It's going to be Joe Hendry. It's going to be Joe Hendry. No, it's somebody else. It's going to be Joe Hendry. It's going to be Joe Hendry. No, it's somebody else. Who's it going to be? Definitely not going to be Joe Hendry. Say his name. It's Joe Hendry. I'm so happy. 3 minutes. I'm done.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest because I was disappointed with that. But my clanger was Travis Scott's entrance. Took me out of the match for those couple of minutes, and just Travis Scott, I just don't get it. So for me, it was Travis Scott. Shall we answer this last question?
Hang on. That's a cop out. I'm calling on that one.
What?
That's a cop out. It's a clanger match, not a clanger moment.
Yeah, it's clanger moment. Or was your best moments and your worst moments?
No. I want your clanger match.
My clanger match was Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, but
there we go.
I didn't ask for the match. I just asked for clanger and banger.
Yeah, well, I'm treating it as match. There you go. That's fine.
Let's answer the questions that we've got in the chat. I think we've answered them all bar one, actually, Matt Burns.
Yeah.
But it's the question I want answered is from May Eunice, and it's across the entire weekend. If you could plan the shows, what would you have done? And we haven't got all night, Matt Burns, so I'm thinking maybe we just say one thing that we would have done differently on both nights.
I'm just trying to think because it's really difficult for night one what to change on that.
Okay, I'll go night one.
Go on.
You go night two, I'll go night one. What would I have changed on night one?
Yeah.
I would have ended the El Grande Americano run and had him lose his mask. That's what I would have done differently.
Okay.
What about night two? What would you have done differently for night two?
You know what? For night one, I would have said you could have still had him win, but lose the mask. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
I would have had him unveiled.
Yeah, you know what? I'm fine with that. Night two, dead easy. Very easy. And don't you even dare say, do that whole change of the Drew match. Dead easy. It's because it's me clanger match. Dead easy. I would have extended the Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry match. Give him more time.
I don't think the issue was the time of the match. I think the issue was who it was. So I think in theory it's a really nice idea, Drew McIntyre, Joe Hendry versus.
A part of me says, okay. A part of me said give him more time, but the real truth is it shouldn't have been Joe Hendry. Do you know what I think it should have been? Nick Aldis.
Well, for me, it should have been Rusev Budria, Rusev Machka.
No, I think it should have been Nick Aldis, especially with the promo when he turned around to Orton and he goes, I don't want your money, I want your respect. And what better way to earn his respect than having a match with him by accepting his challenge at WrestleMania? How do you earn Randy Orton's respect?
Well, Matt Burns, at 1 hour and 34 into the stream, I'm happy to say that's been our WrestleMania review for night one and night two.
That it has. And honestly, if you want to check out all of our channels, our social media, there's just one thing you got to look for. One thing.
One thing?
Yeah, just right above my head here, where I'm pointing at right here. And right above Scotty, right there. And right behind me.
Yeah.
The championship, the Burning Truth Championship. If you want to find, we are on X, Blue Sky. We're pretty much everywhere on social media and
we
Spotify.
Everywhere, mate. Absolutely everywhere.
And for me, genuinely, I feel as though, if you want to help us massively, like and subscribe. The fact that you're leaving comments on for us, we absolutely appreciate it because we'll always answer as much as we can. But genuinely, this all helps us with the algorithm on YouTube. Genuinely,
we love YouTube.
Yeah, we do.
And we want to get to 1,000 subscribers, and it's free
definitely.
to do. So all they've got to do, it's free to do, is hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell thing, comment if you like. We'll love you forever. Thank you very much for being here with us.
And of course, if you want any more content or even merchandise, go to the BurningTruthUK.com website.
Yeah, we're also everywhere on social media. And as Matt Burns says, type in the Burning Truth and look for the belt.
And of course, the most important thing to always remember, which is, of course, DFTBA, which of course always means don't forget to be awesome.
Wow. I'll say it again. The 17-time champ is here.